I'm to stay here until my research is complete. I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Ronde de nuit, chapitre 2. Alors, j'ai analysé le sang de William Bishop, mais les résultats restent parcellaires. Cet échantillon est bien plus instable que le sang humain et présente d'importantes mutations, mais ce n'est pas la même chose que ce qui m'est arrivé. Je dois continuer mes recherches, je dois trouver plus de preuves de ce qui se passe. J'ai peut-être tout mon temps, mais Londres non. L'épidémie tue les gens par milliers et la ville entière est au bord du gouffre. Je commence à penser que tout ceci est lié d'une manière ou d'une autre. Mais je ne vois aucune explication ou relation tangible pour l'instant. Je dois donc continuer à jouer les médecins et à faire de mon mieux pour aider les gens autour de moi tout en continuant mes recherches. Voilà, donc le chapitre 2 c'est Blouse, Blanche. Et là, notre mission c'est Ronde de Nuit.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
L'eau, mais on ne veut pas lui donner. Voilà. L'infirmière qui est pas marrante.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Doctor Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Cette pièce est interdite d'accès au personnel.
Sorry, there's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Profitez pour regarder un petit peu, là on n'a pas été encore.
It's locked.
Si usé. On va se croire dans le saut. Il veut pas qu'on se coupe nos chaînes, il veut qu'on se coupe nos pieds. À l'autre pied. Dossier médical de T.L. Wood. 28 ans, docteur Tipex, convalescent, le 16 septembre. Alors, le visage du patient était sévèrement brûlé et défiguré par une bombe durant la guerre. Malgré l'utilisation de puissants sédatifs, il affirme endurer régulièrement de violentes douleurs comme si les flammes étaient toujours en train de brûler sous sa peau. L'examen des tissus ne montre aucune trace d'inflammation, d'infection ou de gonflement. Les cicatrices sont propres. Est-ce un cas de dommage nerveux persistant? Le patient ne cesse jamais de se tenir responsable de cette défiguration. Est-ce un cas de culpabilité du survivant, des douleurs fantômes qui se manifestent comme une punition pour ne pas être mort avec ses camarades? Ça c'est la personne qu'on a rencontrée tout à l'heure. Par contre, disons, je ne leur ai pas donné 28 ans. Ah, donc on a déverrouillé des informations sur cette personne. Ah la vache, putain, va falloir le guérir lui. Même un étage. jeter un petit coup d'œil en espérant que ça ne nous embarque pas dans... Ça, c'est purement esthétique. Ici, on ira le voir plus tard.
It's locked, all right.
Logiquement, il devrait y avoir une porte fermée. Bien, je commence un petit peu à appréhender les lieux. Avis public, ouvrez-vous la bouche d'un mouchoir pour tousser et éternuer. Marchez pour aller au travail, ne crachez pas, utilisez vos propres tasses pour boire, évitez la foule. Si vous tombez malade, allez au lit, appelez le médecin. Comment fabriquer un masque? Prenez un morceau d'antamine ordinaire de 40 cm sur 20, pliez-le en un rectangle de 20 cm sur 20, puis pliez-le à nouveau, un rectangle de 20 sur 10, attachez au cordon dans les... Bon, ok. Même un mode opératoire pour faire un masque. On va pas sortir pour l'instant.
I cannot enter.
Merde.
Scowl voices in the garden.
Ouais.
I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Bon. J'ai plus d'endurance. Échantillon de sang robuste liquide. Je vais peut-être changer mon arme. Ah oui, je peux. Il suffisait que je fasse ça. Encore à guérir, hein, les touches. Putain la vache. Ah oui, est-ce que je peux? Bon, vu mon style de combat, je pense que ce qu'il va falloir que j'améliore, c'est mon endurance. Je suis très généreux dans l'effort, comme souvent. Ah, c'est par là qu'il faut que j'aille. Les poubelles. Casse tout. Voilà. Quarantaine. Entrée et quitter la zone de quarantaine sous écriture des autorités sanitaires locales, personne autorisée. Ça m'a été arraché. pas vu celui-là. On va pénétrer dans la zone. Dans la morgue. La vieille morgue. Trouver des ingrédients médicaux utiles dans la vieille morgue. Trouver du tartare ferreux. Trouver de la quinine. Trouver de l'hypochlorite de sodium. Fiole de verre. Là il y a des bruits bizarres ici. Hein. Déjà de base une morgue c'est glauque mais... Ah, ça donne vers l'extérieur, ça. C'est pas ce que je voulais. D'accord, c'est la porte qui était fermée tout à l'heure, mais de l'extérieur. Bon, maintenant au moins c'est ouvert. Faire me méfier avant de rentrer comme ça dans une pièce. Prendre un peu autour. Faire un petit tour à l'étage. Ah. Déjà regardé là si personne. On a nos ingrédients.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. Balls of Mars, fortified. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Tuer cigarette. Fiole de verre, quinine. Une clé.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
D'accord, c'est là où il y avait une grille certainement. Voilà, pourquoi il a sorti son arme? Oh putain d'accord, ok. Tant mieux. Encore. Je sais plus où j'en étais. Est-ce que j'avais été au bout là-haut? Ouais, non. Dalle, chevrotine.
It's locked.
Chiotte. On peut continuer de grimper. Ouais. Oh merde. Putain. J'aime pas trop ça, hein. Qu'est-ce qui est passé cet enfoiré? Ça me rassure pas cette affaire. Putain, tu vois.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after me.
On va grimper. Pas trop envie de d'avoir affronté les deux en même temps. Putain, c'est hallucinant, hein, les dégâts qu'ils peuvent faire, c'est ça. Là. Tout à l'heure, je me souviens pas lui avoir fait les poches. Non, il avait rien. C'est clair. Putain, il y en a en face. J'ai eu peur qu'il m'attaque l'autre. Oh, qu'est-ce qu'il me fait lui? Saloperie. Putain, je les déteste. J'ai perdu un petit peu mes repères là. Franchement, c'est-à-dire qu'il est par là. C'est la porte où on était tout à l'heure.
It's locked, all right.
Merde. Rapport de décès. 39 ans, pêcheur, cause probable. Pneumonie foudroyante due à une consolidation pulmonaire causée par un virus. Grippe espagnole.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Couteau d'amputation usé. Vous avez obtenu une nouvelle arme, équipée là, pour absorber directement du sang. Oh, ça m'intéresse. Oh, ça m'intéresse. C'est ça. Hein. Voilà. Voilà.
The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then, he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Docteur Tippett. D'accord, donc lui on l'a rencontré dans la mission précédente. Je pense que ça va légèrement tendre notre relation, cette affaire. Oula. Blouse. Putain. Oh putain, il y en a plusieurs, les bâtards. Il y en a plus. C'est lui qui se déplace super rapidement. Ah non, ils sont bien plusieurs. Merde. Foiré. Attention le cardio. Je l'ai dit, c'est le cardio qui fera toute la différence. Faut que je le gère intelligemment. Contrairement à mes collègues dans l'UFC. Aïe aïe aïe. Il fait mal.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger.
Ouais.
To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
l'atelier. Apprendre. Ah. Formule énigmatique. Et c'est quoi? Fabriquer un traitement pour la fatigue. Yes, c'est ça. Donc on voit qu'on a besoin d'une fiole de verre, de la quinine, du tartare ferreux et de la solution d'hypochlorite de sodium. Donc tous les éléments qu'on a pris dans la morgue. On peut se faire qu'une dose hein, pour l'instant. Donc apporter le médicament à Dorothy Crane dans la chambre du patient. Alors notre patient, je pense que notre patient, je sais pas, c'est une déduction, hein, mais je pense que c'est lui. Parce que justement il souffre de fatigue, c'est celui qu'on a sauvé. Donc ça paraît plutôt cohérent. On va revenir. C'était tout à l'heure. Un escalier. On le laisse. Ça devient chaud le quartier. Ça va avec une jauge d'endurance. J'ai réussi à me le faire. Alors c'est par là. Moi. Je sais pas si je vais réussir facilement à retrouver mon médecin. Ah, c'est celui-là qui est fatigué.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Un indice. La plus peur de la mort depuis qu'il a servi comme médecin militaire. D'accord.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
A funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved
Pas le
now.
sujet évoqué.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Marrant comme personnage. Fait le tour, tatata.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of
On va juste
course.
regarder ce qu'il a.
It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Tartare ferreux. D'accord, donc tout ce qu'on a trouvé dans le... dans la morgue, lui on a sur lui. Bon, c'est pas le médecin que je cherchais initialement.
It's locked, all right.
Shit. Non, il est lourd. Ah, je peux pas passer. Ça c'est dommage.
I'm sorry you ended up my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you be very...
Lettre froissée. Mon amour, j'ai enfin trouvé l'argent que le chauffeur de l'ambulance a demandé pour t'amener à l'hôpital. Je m'occupe de tout, alors concentre-toi simplement sur le fait d'aller mieux. J'ai demandé à nos voisins et ils m'ont tous expliqué que ce monsieur Hook était une sorte d'escroc honnête. Il demande de l'argent en échange d'un lit, mais une fois payé, ce lit est garanti. Je suis désolé d'avoir refusé de payer au départ et je comprends désormais que la chose la plus importante est que tu guérisses vite. Le Pembroke Hospital est apparemment un bon établissement malgré le comportement de ce Milton Hooks. Je te promets que tout ira bien maintenant, je te verrai dans ton lit, tout propre, le plus vite possible. On peut peut-être voir le Milton Hooks. Donc ça veut dire que lui magouillerait. Voilà, il stocke de l'argent auprès de patients. De l'argent. On apprend plein de choses, hein. C'est vraiment sympa. Ça permet de donner une vraie dimension aux personnages secondaires. Ils sont pas juste là pour faire beau et... Ah, est-ce que c'est lui le médecin? Putain, non, c'en a un autre.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed.
Non, c'en a un autre.
Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Pour l'instant, j'ai rien sur lui.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Nouvelle quête ingrédients manquants. Donc là, on avait déverrouillé ça tout à l'heure. Et en termes de mission... ingrédient manquant. Donc le docteur Taureau Strickland est un jeune et courageux médecin fasciné par les avancées technologiques de la médecine. Il mène actuellement des expériences de son côté, mais attend l'arrivée de produits qu'il a récemment commandés. Il subodore que le manque actuel de fourniture médicale aurait pu pousser son fournisseur à vendre ses produits à un médecin plus renommé que lui. Il m'a donc demandé d'utiliser ma réputation pour aller récupérer ses produits moi-même.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Harvey Phoenix. Lui, on l'a pas rencontré, je crois.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Ah, pas tort.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
How long must I...
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Il m'a toujours pas dit comment il s'est fait ça.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey.
Ça va être intéressant.
Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me,
Merde.
and now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Femme d'Harvey est morte. D'accord, c'était ça sans...
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Merde.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick, unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Ok. Ah.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I'm all right.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes,
Yeah.
nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Docteur Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Maladie. Les maladies font baisser la qualité du sang des citoyens. Soignez-les avec les bons médicaments. Parlez aux patients dans la pièce située derrière Dorothy pour voir son état de santé. On a terminé notre mission et donc là, un corbeau à l'hôpital.